Hey, this is Keith Sweat, and you know I got soul.
I got Soul here with Keith Sweat once again. Glad to
Yes,
talk to you
sir.
again.
Thank you, sir.
You recently announced this exciting news about the Las Vegas residency. That's so awesome. Talk about the excitement around that and we can look forward to.
Oh my God, thank you. I'm in Vegas at the Flamingo, better known Flamingo room, better known as the Donnie and Marie room. Hopefully, it'll be named the Key Sweat room when I finish. But no, but I'm excited to be at the Flamingo Hotel doing my residency January the 17th to February the 4th. You know, that's the beginning of all things. So I look forward to just coming in there bringing a different type of show than what I've done, around the country. It's just me and me alone, so I don't have to worry about no opening act other than Ari Spears, who's a comedian. And I can just do what I enjoy doing, entertaining the crowd and having a very intimate setting, because the room holds about 750 people, which is, to me, just enough for me to do what I have to do in a major way.
All right. And of course, a great start to 2017, and it's going to be celebrating the 30th anniversary of your debut, Make It Last Forever.
Right.
If you could just look back for a moment and take us back to when you released that album, what was that feeling like? What was that moment like for you?
Well, just to be able to release an album, back in the day when I came out was very gratifying, because most people were not given the opportunity. Like today on social media, you can release anything and everybody hear it, or put a record out and everybody hear it. Like back in the day, that was your only outlet, getting a deal with a record company and them distributing it, around the world. So for me to, have been able to do that back then, and knowing that album is still relevant to this day, it's a great feeling.
And of course, this year you released the Dress to Impress album.
Right.
We mentioned it among our end of the year countdown of one of the top albums of the year. So really cohesive project. We like that it was that vintage Keith Sweat sound. We like that you took it back there. I guess just talk about, what your goal was for the album and if you feel like you achieved it.
Well, my goal was, to bring good music back, and I think I've achieved it, because I've got 2 songs that went top 10 off that album, and I'm still getting ready to release one more single from the album in the beginning of the year. So, I mean, I think I've achieved it. The album is still selling, and people that I've heard talk about the album really like the album. So, for me, that says a lot when people can still tell me from, I think this might be my 11th or my 12th album, that, you still got it. You still doing your thing. We love the music that you continually still making. So for that to have happened, or for me to hear that from people, that's very refreshing.
Right. Do you have the single picked out yet, out of curiosity?
It's called Tonight.
Oh, nice. Okay. So is your process for creating, as you went through this Dress to Impress album, is it the same as it was with the Make It Last Forever album, or has your process evolved for creating music over the years?
No, my process is always the same.
Okay.
Maybe that's why I stay so consistent, because it's always the same. It really doesn't change. I only know one way to record or one way to do things. So, in terms of creating new music, I'm willing to sometimes even branch out and take a slight gamble, but I'm not going all the way far left. I'm not trying to, reinvent the wheel. I always tell people, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So right now it's not broke, where I'm concerned. So I'm not trying to really fix it.
So, as a legendary artist who's had so much success, platinum-selling artist, how have you adapted to the changing landscape in music? I mean, especially with sales, they're not what they once were. How have you had to, change things?
Well, knowing that everybody in my category is experienced the lack of sales, it don't bother me.
Right.
If it was just me, then I think I would have a major problem with that.
Right.
But because that's the way the industry is now, and the way things are in the industry, like you adjust to everything, you know what I'm saying? Like, my whole thing has always been, as long as if everybody else is going through it, I can go through it as well,
Right.
So That's how I look at it. It doesn't really bother me because that's the way the norm now.
Right.
That's the way of the world now.
It's interesting because some of your peers are getting frustrated with the, they call it lack of support, lack of sales. Like Joe is one who said he might retire. How do you view that type of thing these days?
I mean, I look at music now as just of something to say. You basically it's keeping you relevant, keeping
Right.
you out there. People know you're still out there. It might not be out there. I mean, because people are really still hearing your music. They might not be buying it,
Hmm.
or they might be downloading it, and you don't know they're downloading it, or they might have it and you don't have that, and you don't know they have it. So your music is still out there. Um, there's nothing you could do about what social media is now or the internet. There's nothing you could do about. So it's just you just try to find other avenues or other ways to just make yourself seen
Right.
and heard. I mean, frustration is not the way to go. I
Right.
mean, finding a solution is the way to go. But if this is what you love, if music is what you love, and it's your passion, it's always ways to get through things and find ways to get around things. And people love Joe is an incredible vocalist. I mean, I think it would be sad if he retired.
Right.
I mean, I know I would miss him.
Right.
From the music scene. So basically, my whole objective to all of that is, people. We just need to do. Touring says a whole lot. We're still able to go out and do multiple dates. That
Right.
means somebody's enjoying you or somebody's listening to you. The economy the people that buy our music might not be able to afford to buy our music.
Right.
I mean, it might not even be a situation where people don't want to buy your stuff. It might be a situation where people say, man, I can't afford to buy that because food prices are too high, whatever. So I'd rather spend this extra little money on buying some milk,
Right.
some eggs. And I can respect that.
Absolutely. So how do you see the rest of your career playing out? Do you intend to release albums frequently, every once in a while, like just constantly touring? How do you view it?
Now, I plan on going to Vegas
Yeah. Yeah.
and selling my albums after the show
Yeah.
at,
Okay.
at my meet and greets.
Yeah. Nice. All right. Cool. Cool. Looking back at this legendary 30-year career so far, a lot more to come. You've inspired so many artists along the way. So many up-and-coming R&B artists. I mentioned Keith Sweat as one of their influences. Are there any younger R&B artists you've seen that you look at that you think they're pretty dope?
Man, like there's a lot of young artists that's dope. Like I say, I've always thought Chris Brown was dope as an artist. I mean, we already know Usher's dope.
Right.
I mean, it just Neo's dope. There's a lot of artists out there that's dope. On the younger tip. I mean, I don't know all the young artists.
Right.
I know 'em if I hear them. On the radio. But there's quite a few young artists out there that I think is dope.
Right.
The Weeknd is dope. I just Bruno Mars is dope. So I mean, it's like there's a lot of dope artists out there. You know what I'm saying? And I like what Bruno Mars is doing because it seems like he's doing more of that R&B
Right.
that we
Absolutely.
know that, and you could tell that he grew up listening to a lot of that R&B.
Right.
So I commend him because he has that recognition, and I commend him for doing that. Now the younger people are feeling like this is some new stuff,
Right.
but we know that's that back in the day stuff right there.
Right. Dope. And then just final question: what is your favorite part of being an artist?
Oh, performing.
Right.
Definitely performing because you actually can see the crowd responding to the songs and the things you're doing. So most definitely performing.
Dope. Anything you'd like to add?
Oh man, make sure y'all come to Vegas and check me out. This lasts forever from June 17th to February the 4th. So make sure you come. I mean, I have to make a point. The point is that I'm on the strip. So come on out. Seriously, come on out and check me out. You're going to have a great time, and we're gonna continue to do this as long as we can. Like I said, we're gonna last forever.